Portland be the 18th team in Major League Soccer.
It's the City of Portland's championship.
It is great to be home.
Sports Sunday with Orlando Sanchez, sponsored by 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Oh man, you see this, Art? I mean, whoo, this is elementary school tantrum level. Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, he's had better days. Happened during the Bills-Dolphins game. It's even more aggressive in slow-mo. My goodness. Reminder, folks, tablets are expensive.
That's a meltdown, all right.
Oh, it's been an emotional roller coaster around the world of sports this weekend. A lot of anger, a lot of smiles.
Yep.
What is good, everyone? Welcome to Sports Sunday. My name is Orlando, alongside the one and only Art Edwards.
Yep.
49ers game aside, how you doing?
Besides that, great.
All right, that's what I like to hear. We'll try and forget all about that Niners game.
Thank you.
For you. Cougs fans, some pain along the way.
Yeah.
So, for the Coug fans out there, hit your mute buttons.
Yeah.
This is a safe space.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get through this. The Oregon Ducks moved up to 13th in the AP poll after an incredible comeback in Pullman. This is a game Ducks fans are going to remember for a long time. It was a rough first half for the U of O. 4 trips to the red zone, no touchdowns. Bo Nix tossed this pick 6. Washington State was in control. And how about quarterback Cameron Ward? I mean, he looked like Patrick Mahomes out there, carving up the Ducks defense. He made them look silly at times. Washington State had a 34-22 lead in the fourth quarter. But closing time was a different story. Oregon scored 22 points in less than 3 minutes, posting a total of 29 points in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix, he was fantastic down the stretch. That 50-yard bomb to Troy Franklin was the go-ahead score. Nix finished with a career-high 428 yards, and the Ducks slammed the door shut right here. Mace Funa's pick 6 put WSU away. Oregon rallies to a 44-41 victory, improving to 3-1 on the season. What a punch in the gut for Wazoo in its first loss of the season. So, Art, did they Coug it?
No doubt.
Yeah, Urban Dictionary sums it up with the quote, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh, yeah.
So in all seriousness, Art, I know it's only 4 games into the season, but how crucial was this victory for the Oregon Ducks?
Well, I think it was a big deal because you're starting out in conference play. You got to get going on the right track if you want to have a shot at the conference championship at the end of the season.
It is tough to win on the road, and to open conference play 1-0 is huge. And now, with a win like this, those goals of conference championship, Rose Bowl, all of that is still out there for this team. So, Art, what did you learn about this team?
That they're resilient. You know, they were able to come back at a game that really we thought they had lost. And, you know, the history play in Washington State, they've had some rough games against the Cougs where they aren't able to get the offense running, even when it's supposed to be a good offense. So this was great.
Oregon was favored by basically a touchdown, but a lot of us within the circle that have seen them play a few times, that was a big number.
That was. Yes, it was.
And Bo Nix, you know, that first half, he throws the pick 6. The offense really wasn't there, and they find a way to turn it around. What'd you think about what they did in the second half?
Well, I thought that was great, but, you know, of course, down at the end of the game. But, you know, the fact that they didn't really seem to waver. They just kept going at it. They kept doing what they want to do, a little up tempo, bashing with the offensive line. So they kept doing those things.
Totally. Bo Nix looked comfortable out there, especially when the tempo did pick up, as you mentioned, man. All right. They gave us no choice. We got to talk about the officials. This was a mess. Happened in the second quarter, and basically they lost track of what down it was. The conference says there was a mistake with the down indicator. Coach Dickert was even trying to tell them, and then they just kept playing. Eventually, the replay official and command center reviewed the play. They got it right, but It was a big waste of time. So, Art, is this a big deal?
Well, I think it is because the Pac-12 has a history of the officials really kind of struggling from time to time. You know what? You're going to miss calls. That happens. You're going to have calls that people don't like. But this was really bad, and it took way too long to sort it out.
Right, and we joke about Pac-12 after dark, but it's stuff like this that really leaves a black eye on the conference, especially on a nationally televised game. This game was on Fox.
That's right.
And we all wasted our time sitting there wondering what in the world was going on, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's roll to Corvallis. This game lived up to the hype. Two undefeated teams. Oregon State off to its best start in 8 years versus USC, who moved up to 6th in the latest AP poll. Shout out to Beaver Nation. Sold out crowd at Reser Stadium, electric atmosphere, 26,000, and they've brought the noise, playing a factor in this game. Beavers controlled the first 3 quarters. Trent Bray's defense kept them out of the end zone until Travis Dye broke through in the 4th quarter. The former Duck, he rushed for 133 yards, carried USC's offense for most of this game. On the other side, we were all introduced to Jam Griffin.
Never heard of him.
The Beavers running back who reeled off 84 yards, put the Beavs up 14-10 in the 4th quarter. Now, Trojans quarterback Caleb Williams, he's got a lot of preseason love, potential Heisman candidate even. He was a non-factor until the game mattered most, and he stepped up. 4th down conversion here was massive because that set up the go-ahead TD with just over a minute left. So the Beavers, they had one last chance, and this sums it up perfectly here, Art. Chance Nolan picked off. His 4th interception of the game. OSU had 4 turnovers. USC had 0. That's the difference. USC survives Corvallis, and OSU suffers its first loss of the season, 17-14 in heartbreaking fashion.
You know, the only way we're going to get past this is together. You know, we're not going to break up. We're not going to say, oh, y'all did this, y'all did that. Y'all need to be – no, we're going to come together and we're going to play, you know, and we're going to lean on each other in tough moments like these as a family that we are.
It pains me that our story has to start this way, but I know it's just the beginning. And I know in that locker room right now there is no quit. There is no thought or doubt in our mind that we ain't going to see them again. And we're not going to be playing in the Pac-12 championship. That is still the belief. That is still the goal.
Whew.
All right. Man.
That'll get you fired up, right?
Yeah, it does.
Well, it doesn't get much easier for the Beavs. They're at 12th ranked Utah. So, Art, I want to know, especially after hearing that soundbite there, are you concerned about the Beavers?
No, not after hearing that. Well, I wasn't anyway,
but
especially not after hearing that. You know what? They understand that they belong. They know they belong out there with what are supposed to be the best teams in the nation. That game was a toss-up last night. They could have very easily have won that game. So, no, their season's not over. Hey, it's tough. You got to go to Utah next.
Right.
But they're going to be all right.
Oh, that was a golden opportunity for Beaver Nation to
Yep.
take that next step. You had a top 10 opponent on the ropes.
Yes.
Just got to finish the job. So my next question for you is, should Oregon State be ranked?
Yeah, I think they should be. You know what? I think there are some other one-loss teams that are in the top 25, but they're not losing to the number 6 or number 7 team in the nation. I think, they should be. They should be, if they're not 25, they should be 26.
You talked about the votes. They are getting votes.
They are.
Week to week.
Week to week. Some votes.
Maybe some of those voters will stay up late to watch some of these games. I just don't know if they have the Pac-12 network.
Yeah, they may not.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of the conference, first weekend of conference play, and the Pac-12 honored the life of Oregon's Spencer Webb, painting the 4-yard line yellow at each stadium. Really a classy move by the conference. On the field, the Beavers' next opponent took care of business. Utah overwhelmed Arizona State 34-13. Utes rolled up 465 yards in total offense.
And the Washington Huskies, man, they look like the real deal this year. The Huskies defense forced 3 Stanford turnovers. Michael Penix, this guy is playing great football right now. He had another big game, threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Washington beat Stanford 40-22.
Look out for UW.
Yeah.
In the wildest conference game of the day, the Cal Bears beat Arizona 49-31. Star of the game, Cal's Jaden Ott, the true freshman, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns. So the top of the conference taking form, Art. USC, Washington, UCLA, all undefeated. What's your big takeaway from the weekend?
Well, I think that Washington looks like they are really a good team. I don't believe in UCLA at all. They're going to lose.
No.
They're going to lose to someone. I mean, they almost lost to an FCS team.
Right.
First or second week of the season. But that Washington team really looks like they are. They're the real deal.
They have set the tone, and you've also mentioned their schedule works out nicely for them, right?
Yeah, they don't have to play USC or Utah, so that puts them in the driver's seat right away.
Yeah.
When it comes to, are you going to make the Pac-12 championship?
Will they slip up? Because what it's based on right now, they look like the team to beat.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh,
I think this weekend really set the tone for the conference on
see.
opening weekend.
For a while, Portland State played number 2 Montana pretty even. This touchdown pass pulled the Vikings to within 3 points in the second quarter of the game. So you're figuring, hey, this might be a ball game.
I even told you, I was like, Art,
Yeah.
CSU might do this.
Yeah, it was all Montana after that. The Grizz go on to win it 53-16. The final. Portland State plays Northern Arizona, but they get a home game. That's next week.
All right, bring it on.
Yeah.
We got much more to go on Sports Sunday. It's a battle of the birds in Seattle. Seahawks and Falcons played a really entertaining game. The big takeaways from Sunday afternoon. Plus, best football play you'll see all week. The touchdown run that had both teams celebrating. We'll see you on the other side. And welcome back. The Seattle Seahawks find themselves in a world of hurt after this week's home game against the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle Storm legend Sue Bird helped to get the crowd fired up. Where you at, 12s? Geno Smith with another really good first half. 18 for 25, 218 yards, 2 touchdown passes. One to Will Dissly, the other to DK Metcalf. Seattle led by 3 at the half. Seattle fixed some of those offensive issues from a week ago, but the defense was a different story. Cordarrelle Patterson, monster day, 141 yards rushing and that TD. And how about former Oregon Duck Marcus Mariota, QB1 and ATL? He wasn't flashy, but threw for 229 yards and a TD. Seattle only forced 1 punt, allowed 386 yards, gave up 27 points. Seahawks had one final chance, but it ends with an interception. Falcon.
Unfortunately, we didn't finish our last drive. I mean, the league is right there. Is how it works out. Last drive all so often, and we played hard and tough the whole time. They played hard and tough the whole time. It was a good football game. There's things that we have to do better. We can't give up the rushing yards we're giving up. It's too much.
Falcons win 27-23. How much trouble the Seahawks in?
A world of trouble. I mean, you know what? We said it last week. If they play a team with an elite defense, they're going to really struggle like they did against the Niners. Atlanta doesn't have an elite defense. They scored, but they couldn't get it done.
They're in the game. Entertainment value, though, pretty good on this game.
That was a fun game to watch.
All right, Art, you know what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
Our weekly trip around the NFL. Future Hall of Famers square off and upset alerts. Headline week number 3. So let's start at Hard Rock Stadium, the home of the Miami Dolphins. Miami hosting division rival Buffalo. Both teams unbeaten when the day began. Josh Allen and the Bills have been on a tear. He chalked up 400 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. The Bills rolled up a total of 497 yards, but all that matters is the final score. And Tua Tagovailoa came back from what looked like a serious injury to lead the Dolphins to victory. Dolphins with the W, 21-19. They're on top of the AFC East.
What?
First time they've been 3-0 in 4 seasons.
Shocking. Hey, let's move on to the Midwest. The Chiefs hosting the Indianapolis Colts. You figure you probably know how this is going to go.
Oh, totally.
Matt Ryan, though, had other ideas. He led a game-winning drive late in the fourth quarter. The connection with Jelani Woods with 24 seconds left. That pushed the Colts to victory. Indianapolis stuns the Chiefs 20-17. First win of the year for the Colts.
Who saw that coming?
No one.
All right, let's take a trip back to the state of Florida. We'll visit Raymond James Stadium. That's where Tampa Bay played Green Bay. Tom Brady against Aaron Rodgers. Came down to the wire. Bucs score with 14 seconds left. Tom Brady to Russell Gage for the TD. They had to go for 2 to send this game to overtime. Packers defense flexing on them. Green Bay with the stop. They win it 14-12. Both teams now 2-1 on the season.
Let's roll on to Southern California. The Chargers at SoFi Stadium hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. A banged-up Justin Herbert. He did play for the Chargers, threw for nearly 300 yards and a touchdown and 1 interception and a fumble. But this game was all about the Jags. New year, new vibe. Trevor Lawrence, 3 TD passes. Jacksonville destroyed the Chargers 38-10.
Unpredictable results there, man.
Crazy.
All right, we had another incredible week of Friday Night Football, but the best play of the week came on Monday. So let's roll to Estacada.
Yeah.
The Rangers hosting Camas in JV football. There's running back Ryan Hunt with the rock. Gets to the outside and he gone. House call. Ryan has Down syndrome and his mom says that being part of the football program at Estacada has really gotten him excited about school.
Yeah.
You love to hear it, and this is why we love sports. And we've got to show you this in slow-mo. Check it out. Ryan even has his own touchdown pose.
Get down.
Yeah, man. And folks, if you missed any football, head to KGW's YouTube page. We've even got an interview with Ryan. It's time to pick your Friday Night Football game of the week. We've got 4 options to choose from. It's a key matchup in the Three Rivers League. Lake Oswego versus West Lynn. In the Pacific Conference, Newburgh is at McMinnville, Canby visits undefeated Southridge, or Putnam travels cross town to meet Hillsboro. Head over to kgw.com/GOW. Vote early, vote often. We'll announce the winner on Wednesday. Let's go.
That's right, Albert Pujols makes history, hit that 700th home run this week to join that elite club. He is just the 4th player to reach the milestone. The 700th came in the 4th inning of the game against the Dodgers the other day. It is your Toyota Sunday Sizzle.
What a call. The Portland Thorns find themselves back on top of the table after today's match against the Chicago Red Stars. Portland's Morgan Weaver came up big, getting her first brace of her career, scoring a couple of goals. And the Thorns get a 3-0 victory. Now, Portland's Sophia Smith injured just before the final whistle. She went down, hit her head on the turf, and the team says she'll undergo a full evaluation. Now, it all comes down to the final game of the regular season. Thorns play Gotham FC October 1st. A win gives them the Supporters Shield for the top record in the league.
Oregon State gymnast Jay Carey made a successful return to international competition this weekend. Carey competing at the Paris World Challenge Cup. She won a gold medal on the vault and a silver on the beam. It was her first international competition since the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And not to be outdone, Vancouver's Jordan Childs, also at that Paris event, she won gold in the floor exercise and a silver in the vault. Both of them are getting ready for the World Team Selection Camp in October. We'll be right back. Roger Federer bid an emotional farewell to competitive tennis this weekend. He played his final match at the Laver Cup over the weekend, partnered with longtime rival Rafael Nadal in doubles. They lost the match, but still, it was an emotional day. Lots of tears after that match. You know, Federer was ranked number 1 for 310 weeks, 237 weeks in a row. That's a record. Also won 20 Grand Slam titles. I'd say he was pretty good.
Oh, man. Art Edwards was locked in.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the Portland Winterhawks starting the season 2-0. Good night, everyone.